Paul Amadeus Dienach, Chronicles from the Future, the amazing story of Paul Amadeus Dienach. Delve into the world of future thinking with A Chronicles from the Future, the amazing story of Paul Amadeus Dienach. This fascinating book takes you on a journey through the realms of decision-making and the concepts of A-series and B-series time, exploring how we manage and predict our futures. The book dives deep into compatibilism and demonstrates that while some things are fixed, we still possess the power of choice. Learn about the distinct categories of future outcomes, understand how future management processes exist not only in humans but also at cellular and plant levels, and how our shifting perspectives on time have shaped the way we think about the future.
Decoding future choices. The future is a nebulous concept, influenced by ancient philosophical ideas about time, choice, and responsibility. Understanding the geography of the future and using future thinking to guide decision-making can help alleviate feelings of uncertainty and fear and lead to better choices. The future can be categorized into 4 different outcomes: probable, plausible, possible, and preposterous, and someone's preferred outcome combined with its likelihood influences their decisions. Every human being faces countless choices daily, a huge responsibility that can sometimes be overwhelming. However, an intriguing paradox suggests that you might not possess as much free will as you believe, yet you remain responsible for your decisions. To comprehend this notion, journey back to the ideas of 2 ancient Greek philosophers with contrasting perspectives on time. First, Heraclitus argued that time flows unpredictably and is ever-changing, an idea we'll call A-series time. On the contrary, Parmenides considered time as fixed, where all events are predetermined, which we'll call B-series time. Both philosophies have flaws. In A-series time, it's uncertain when the future becomes the present, while B-series time renders free will and responsibility meaningless due to determinism. To strike a balance between these philosophies, we turn to compatibilism, the blend of free will and determinism. It acknowledges that while certain aspects of life are fixed, like death and taxes, we still possess free will and choice within that framework. Embracing compatibilism helps us modulate decisions and better navigate the uncertainty of the future. Mapping the elusive landscape of the future helps in future management, a skill that aids in easing uncertainty, fear, anxiety, and insecurity surrounding decision-making. To discern the future effectively, consider it in terms of preference and possibility. There are 4 categories of future outcomes: probable, plausible, possible, and preposterous. Decision-making processes revolve around the preferred outcomes and the likelihood of them actually happening. For instance, if a desired outcome seems preposterous, it's sensible to compromise on those expectations instead. Conversely, if an outcome is probable, it might be wise to seek out more challenging possibilities. Understanding and embracing future thinking, alongside navigating between free will and determinism, empowers individuals to make better choices and transform a vague concept into a manageable, actionable influence on daily life. By categorizing future outcomes and assessing their likelihood, along with our preferences, we can harness better decision-making and anticipate the consequences of our choices with greater confidence. Cellular Future-Management. Even at the cellular level, the process of future thinking is ingrained in the very fabric of life. Cells may not have brains or consciousness, but they utilize decision-making and future management processes to fulfill their survival goals. This innate ability extends to plants and animals, and has informed human goal setting and decision-making. All living organisms are wired for survival, and to achieve this balance, they follow similar methods and mechanisms for future thinking. Cells may not have a consciousness, but they possess decision-making and future management processes that enable them to make choices that cater to their survival. Each cell is composed of various components such as DNA, genes, ribosomes, protein molecules, and cytoplasm working together to ensure survival. They communicate through a simple if/then sequence, sharing information on how best to manage their future. For instance, cells harvest energy from sugar through a coordinated process that begins with preference for sugar's abundance, determining the probability of sugar's existence, and taking action to break down the sugar into useful energy. The idea that future management processes exist at a cellular level is fascinating because it indicates that even simple life forms have goals they strive towards. Consider how plants operate. Even without a consciousness, their cells collect information on probabilities and trends to navigate their needs. Charles Darwin's Venus flytrap is a vivid example of this cellular future management, where the plant discerns when to close its trap based on the probability of capturing food. Animals, including humans, exhibit evolved future management skills, following the same fundamental steps as their cellular and plant counterparts. For example, when humans aim to achieve a financial goal, they first assess whether the goal is plausible, gather information on trends related to achieving the goal, and finally, take action. The primary difference, however, lies in the human capacity for conscious decision-making, allowing for both fast and slow thinking due to our intricate nervous systems and brain capabilities. These future management processes have likely been present since the appearance of our earliest ancestors and have played a crucial role in the progression of evolution. Despite the ubiquity of these processes across all living beings, humans are unique in their ability to consciously shape the future of the planet and even the universe. Our consciousness gives us the power to influence our future, using our free will to create the world we envision. Evolution of time and future thinking. The perception of time can be categorized into three types: natural, psychological, and social. Throughout history, humanity's thinking about the future has evolved from being personal to encompass larger groups and ideas. The foundational era witnessed a deep connection with nature, spirits, and forces. The agrarian era brought about systems for managing futures, including writing and documentation to keep track of assets. Later came the axial age, when cultures achieved philosophical and religious enlightenment. By 1800, technology and science facilitated new ways of thinking about the future, turning humanity into a multicellular organism that could shape its own destiny on a planetary scale. The way we perceive time can be classified into three varieties: natural time, determined by sunrises, season changes, and circadian rhythms; psychological time, which is the way we perceive the passage of time; and social time, comprised of workdays, holidays, and school schedules that often override the first two types. Our outlook on the future significantly depends on our situation in history. 10,000 years ago, the foundational era ended, and people lived in small groups with a more passive stance towards the planet and its forces. This era was characterized by a personal connection to the future within their immediate surroundings. The world was a realm governed by spirits and mysterious forces. As we transitioned into the agrarian era, societies began organizing into larger entities such as states and countries. This allowed people to manage the future on an extensive scale while tracking assets like livestock and land through writing systems. These written documents changed how people managed the future and made forecasts based on past patterns. Nevertheless, the belief in spirits, ancestors, and divinities remained strong in the agrarian era. Renowned Roman Cicero regarded divination as a legitimate method for managing the future. As humanity's knowledge expanded, divination became shaped by past trends and information, broadening guidance and leading to a wider array of possibilities. During the Axial Age, a phenomenon identified by philosopher Karl Jaspers, cultures worldwide coincidentally reached unparalleled levels of philosophical and religious enlightenment. By 1800, technology and science accelerated the acquisition of knowledge, inspiring inventions and innovations like never before. Mankind came to understand its potential to transform the Earth. In essence, humanity evolved from an individualistic viewpoint of the future into a multicellular organism responsible for the welfare of the entire planet and its inhabitants. As our perception of time developed, so too did our ability to influence and shape the world we live in. Managing our collective future. In our rapidly changing world, humanity must embrace its role in imagining and creating a better future for all. Gone are the days of simply adapting to change. Now, we must actively manage our destiny by learning from the past and making informed decisions. Through our collective knowledge and shared moral values, we are tasked with leading humanity towards progress and preventing undesirable outcomes. With enough information at hand, the power to shape the future lies within our choices, and each of us has a responsibility to act in the best interest of humankind. The world today is unrecognizable compared to what it was decades ago. Our lives, marked by a fast pace of change, seem to constantly adjust to new realities. In such an environment, we've grown accustomed to reinventing ourselves according to shifting circumstances. At the core of this ability to adapt is our deep understanding of cause and effect, which arises from having access to vast amounts of carefully recorded and analyzed data about past events. This wealth of information not only helps us make sense of the changes around us, but it has also helped humanity evolve into a creative and imaginative species. Our curious nature allows us to use the knowledge we've accumulated to envision possible futures, bringing us closer to being the architects of our destiny. We've come a long way as a species. Our average lifespans have more than doubled in the past 2 centuries, and many of us now enjoy a better quality of life than our ancestors could have ever imagined. With our numbers and knowledge comes a shared set of moral values, increased power, and a heightened sense of responsibility. As we move forward together, managing our future is not just an abstract philosophical concept, but an immediate and practical task. Challenging times lie ahead, as issues like rapid population growth, economic disparities, and climate change threaten to undermine our progress towards creating an equitable and safe world. We need to ask ourselves, what kind of future do we want? How can we avoid the undesirable outcomes and reach the goals we set for our global society? The answers to these questions may not hold weight on a cosmic scale, but they are of paramount importance here and now. Based on past trends, we have enough data to foresee what the next few centuries might hold, and we can make plausible predictions about the consequences of our current actions. This predictive power is the foundation of future management. As each cell in your body works in the best interest of your overall well-being, all of us as individuals have a role to play in the grand scheme of humanity. Aware of our create capacity for change, and armed with the knowledge we need, it is up to us to steer our future towards a vision that fosters cooperation, growth, and harmony for generations to come.
In conclusion, Chronicles from the Future, the amazing story of Paul Amadeus Dienach, serves as an insightful exploration of future thinking and management. From investigating how cells and plants make decisions, to understanding the evolution of humanity's perspectives on time and knowledge, the book provides a comprehensive look into our relationship with the future and the choices we make. Take advantage of this thought-provoking book and consider how you can better understand what's at stake in your own decision-making process, as well as recognizing the ever-changing landscape of the future in which we live. Embrace your responsibility as a contributor to the collective decisions that shape the world and the future for generations to come.